going on, everyone? This is the Popcorn Heroes review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Home.
Yeah.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. I love how all of you guys joined in. Fuck, man, I can't do no numbers on this fucking podcast.
Is that our thing now? We're just gonna sing it?
Jesus.
That's our shtick. We do a jingle for every movie.
Anyways, I am Armando. With me, as always, is Pedro.
Hello.
God's gift, Orlando.
Yo.
Hey, God's gift once again, man.
Damn.
Hey. He's so mad at both of us right now.
Only you can bestow that power. Nobody else.
So yeah, quick synopsis, Pedro.
All right, quick synopsises.
And then we'll get into it.
This takes place after Avengers Endgame.
Nice. Nice. I didn't know that.
I always got to do this. So please watch Avengers Endgame.
I didn't
Which
know
pretty
that.
much means you got to watch everything.
Please watch the last 26 films or some shit.
Yeah.
So this synopsis is a spoiler of Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't watched it, watch it, then come back.
Spoilers ahead, guys.
All right, spoilers ahead for synopsis for Endgame. All right, so this takes place after Endgame, and it.
How much time you think it was?
I think
Like a year?
It's within the same year.
They mentioned it in the movie.
That's a school year. They did a
like,
school year.
like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, like 6. I think it's like 6 months.
Okay.
I think the kid mentioned it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to do a test again, and they already passed. And like, why would we have to do it again?
Yeah.
So the gist of this movie is post Endgame with the Avengers pretty much non-existent anymore. Who's going to step up to the plate? So a lot of the pressure's on Spider-Man and whatnot, and then
Because he's the only one around. Essentially.
he's the only one around that's in the public eye at this moment, and he has to go on a school trip around Europe.
It's a summer trip.
A summer trip, yeah. So he pretty much says, "Fuck this! Enough of this! All this like pressure that I'm under. I'm gonna leave the suit at home, and I'm gonna go and have fun with my friends." And while he goes and have fun with his friends, shit happens.
Great synopsis, Pedro. That's essentially what happened.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Essentially what happens in the movie.
Spider-Man. Shit
All right.
happens.
So Pedro, 1 out of 5. Give us your quick thoughts about it, and then we'll get into spoilers.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. I really like this movie.
Okay.
I thought it nailed Peter Parker as a teenager. I mean, I know the last one did it too, but this one really nailed like his dilemmas. His like that he really just wants to be a kid. He doesn't want to do this, and it's the great power comes great responsibility. BS. Even though Uncle Ben isn't really non-existent here, but
You think they're ever gonna bring him back? Like introduce him somehow?
yeah, I mean he's in the universe. Obviously.
He has to be.
Yeah, because in the luggage they show his initials and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
he's there. But they keep replacing Uncle Ben drama with Tony Stark drama, which I'm not totally okay with that, but whatever. I guess it makes sense for this now. But anyways, I love the way the villains were great in this movie. I loved how like I mentioned with our last review, I like that these Spider-Man movies are Spider-Man featuring so-and-so.
Yeah.
So the last one's Spider-Man featuring Iron Man, and this one's Spider-Man featuring Nick Fury. And I hope they kind of keep that going.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty neat. But
It's a
just
dynamic.
But just the cast of his friends, just the whole it really feels like a John Hughes like 80s movie, like.
And that's what I like about the first one too. It always felt like that.
Exactly. And I thought this one would sacrifice that, and it didn't. It kept it. If anything, it was like a lot.
Yeah, because you already know the characters, so
Yeah.
you kind of know the dynamics between all of them.
Yeah. So like the good first half is really just this, and I love seeing that. I love seeing Peter Parker more than Spider-Man, and this really like solidifies it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
Cool.
it.
I give it a 4 out of 5. There was 2 things that really bothered me, and I will only mention it once we get into the spoilers. So yeah, overall the movie was great. It was a lot of fun. One, I don't think it's better than Spider-Man Homecoming, and I don't think the villain is better than Vulture. But other than that, the movie itself was really, really good. Like, it was fucking awesome. Mysterio, man, seeing Mysterio in the movie was fucking awesome. Like, I've always wanted to see Mysterio and see how he was how he could potentially be portrayed in the movie, and they fucking. I think they did a really good job, especially using current technology to make him. It was magical. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And of course, all the characters were great. There wasn't enough of a Flash, I think, in this movie.
Agreed, and not enough Flash Thompson.
That Flash was there. Maybe 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's probably
in the entire movie.
That's probably one of my nitpicks about the side characters is there wasn't enough Flash.
There wasn't enough Flash, and I feel like Flash is a huge character within the world. I think he was more in the first movie than he was in this movie.
Well, he was.
And overall, even his best friend wasn't there that much.
He was in it a lot. He had his own.
But he had his own plot line, but it was like short scenes. It was short scenes. Yeah,
he was in it a lot.
So yeah, overall, Nick Fury being there was pretty cool. Like I'm glad to see, what's his fucking name?
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson more in the movie in the MCU, because the last time you saw him this much was Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Or no, Captain Marvel.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Of course.
So like, Nick Fury is a bigger piece in his universe.
So these are his 3 movies where he's really at the forefront.
Yeah. So, and it's also good to see Maria Hill again. Like, she's never like.
They still don't really know what to do with her. She's really just kind of in the background.
Yeah, they don't.
I hope that they focus on her a little more with something. I don't know.
I mean, they kind of focus on her in this movie, which is pretty cool. I guess her screen time matched her screen time in Avengers, the first one.
Oh yeah.
But overall, like the movie was cool, man, and Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, he's such a great actor, though. Like, I find him to be like, people don't really
really. Yeah. Think he's underrated?
I don't think I wouldn't say underrated, but I would say that people don't see him up there.
After Nightcrawler,
exactly. Nightcrawler was fucking crazy.
Nightcrawler, Prisoners. The guy's a beast.
I want to see that movie he has, Velvet Buzzsaw, the one in Netflix. I still haven't seen that one. It's not good. It's not good?
No, I don't like it.
I'll have to see it because apparently he did a really good job in that movie.
Right. I'm sure he did, but the movie probably was.
But I don't think he's one of those like up there actors that people be like, oh my God, he's such a great actor.
To me, he's top 10 easy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor. But yeah, great movie. I enjoyed it. Orlando.
So I give it a 3.6.
Whoa!
Wait. First of all, why are you getting so specific?
I always get specific. You always do that to me.
Round up or round down?
Nah, dude.
All right. I'll give you 3.6.
3.6, 3.7.
So that means between like it and really like it.
Yeah. So I agree with you guys overall. You guys made some solid points. I love Jake Gyllenhaal's character, portrayal of Mysterio. I love the animation. I feel like this is CGI-wise one of the best.
I agree.
CGI
definitely.
I have seen in a Marvel movie or in general. I didn't really like the way the conflict at the end plays out. I felt like the humor. We talked about this, like how every movie has to have humor. And I felt a lot of it was misses.
Really?
A lot. Yeah, I felt like I did not.
Okay.
I felt like a lot of characters were put in for comedic effect, and they didn't nail that role. So like JB Smooth's character, who's a teacher, I feel like that was pointless.
Yeah, he's more funnier than when he was portrayed.
The other character, who I think it's like the other teacher,
Martin Starr.
And
but he acted the same way he did in the first one.
Yeah, in the first one he was like that.
But there's a lot of characters that are there simply to deliver a joke, and it just felt like.
Yeah, let me talk to you man to man, man to teacher.
Yeah, and it just felt.
I didn't like that.
I mean, even Flash Thompson, even though I like Flash Thompson in the first movie, I'm not sure. Like, it just felt like a lot of the minor characters, it felt like they were just reading lines, and it just didn't feel like organic.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a spoiler, but like one of the trailers, Flash Thompson calls Peter a butthead.
Right.
Because Peter just walks...
Dickwad.
Dickwad. He kind of like walks into the scene, but Peter's on the phone and he's there. Like, he's always been there, but then like you like stepped 2 foot forward. What's up, Dickwad?
Right.
And it just felt...
But Flash has always been the bully, though.
Yeah, but it just didn't feel natural. It felt like I'm going to say these things.
I actually really like that joke.
Yeah, it's fine, but I just didn't really feel like... I feel like it's just like insert insert line here.
You're
like
probably
insert
right.
Joke here.
You're probably right.
And
It's a formula, but
for a lot of it just didn't really land for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like Jake Gyllenhaal's character. I like their dynamic. How, after Endgame happens, Tony is kind of lost. He doesn't really have a mentor, and Jake Gyllenhaal's character kind of fills that role a bit in terms of like, hey kid, like I know life is tough. You'll be fine. So overall, yeah, I like that. I felt like the jokes were mostly misses for me. The and the end conflict was I would have liked some more
on the climax,
more dazzle on it. I can't say because we're not in spoiler territory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's overall.
All right, cool. Pedro, would you recommend it?
absolutely.
Orlando?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to, if you're a fan now, if you watch the rest
If
of
you're
it,
an MCU fan, you might as well.
you might as well. It's a good movie.
To me, this is one of my favorite ones in a while. Like up there.
Yeah.
What do you mean in a while? Endgame was like about a month ago.
Right? No, you're right. You're right. That's why I said one of my favorites in a while.
Yeah, but you said in a while. Though. It's like it's been like forever. Like
Well, okay. So
you've been on a starvation of good movies.
Right. So when you look back, you see Captain Marvel, and I'm like, it's all right.
Okay.
And then you look at Ant-Man and Wasp, it's all right. You know what I mean?
I like Ant-Man and Wasp.
So you have those sprinkled in there. That's what I'm getting.
And I feel like this one was not all right, but if I would have, we have done a Marvel ranking before.
Yeah, I'm glad I want to do that again.
And I think we're
So big.
Yeah, I think we are like almost. I think we're hankering for another ranking because with Endgame now and Homecoming.
We should at some point in the future do.
Yeah, 'cause there
listen
has-
to our rankings and
Because
then.
there has been 4 more movies that have released since our ranking.
yeah.
But
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna listen to it and then write down all our rankings so we don't have to go through it again.
yeah, but I do feel my opinion on this, and like I said, all the Marvel movies, most of them are like 4s and ups.
Oh,
3.5 and up.
Ever
you
since
go.
phase 3, it's been like quality after
been
quality.
Pretty much 3.5 and up.
Yeah.
So given that, this is for me middle of the road.
Okay.
Subpar in terms of Marvel movies.
Okay.
But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. You guys should go watch it. And if you have seen it, stick around because we're about to get into spoilers.
Spoilers, baby.
Spoilers, but if you haven't, pause it. Come back.
Press pause on your Spotify app.
There you go. Remember, we're on Spotify now.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Or if you want to keep it classic, SoundCloud.
Or any of your favorite podcasting apps. We're there. But yes, spoilers ahead, everyone. Spoilers.
All right, British accent.
Spoilers ahead. Spoilers. All right, Pedro, I want to start off. Did you like the MCU's use of the elementals? I didn't ask you that question before.
Oh, I did like it. I just wish they would have showed it a little bit more to kind of.
But do you wish they were actually real?
No,
Instead of
no.
No?
I don't give a fuck about the elementals. They're a big fucking element personified attacking. I've seen that in like every fucking movie. So I'm glad that they did this Mysterio
Fake out
that we all saw coming a mile away. But yeah, I wish they would have showed it maybe a little more to kind of like. I don't know. I felt they were so like non-existent that maybe it was easy for the audience that were living under a rock that don't know who Mysterio is to guess. Like, they've defeated them so quickly. There's got to be something else to it, you know? They would have made them a little more like. Really, the only one that it was like, oh shit, this is crazy was the fire one at the end. But they didn't show the wind one. You know what I mean? Like, there's even a part where Spider-Man, when he's fighting the lava guy, he does like one of his web shooters. And it kind of does this weird like deflect of like something invisible. I thought he was fighting Zephyr, which is the wind one. So I'm like, oh shit, now the wind one's gonna come in and fight him. But really, it was just the whole drone like thing.
Yeah.
So it was just a nitpick. Really, it isn't needed. The Mysterio thing, really, I enjoyed the Mysterio thing completely. So I'm
because in my thinking, I thought the elementals were a bigger part of the world essentially.
I mean, just Hydro Man. He's the only one that really matters. But it doesn't. I don't care about the elementals. They're pretty bland to me.
Okay. So the MCU did a good use of them essentially.
Yeah, definitely. They should have been side villains, and in this case, they technically were side villains. So it's exactly what it should have been, in my opinion.
Man, Kevin Feige, dude, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
So right off the bat in this movie, I absolutely loved that they talked about one of the plot holes that we were talking about. Like, what happened to the 5-year jump? What happened to the students? That was one of our things. And right from the get-go, bam, they do it. Well, first they show some nice
tribute.
The tribute. What was the song they were playing again? I can't even remember.
I'll remember you. I don't know. Maybe
it was something like that.
No, that's too fast. I remember. No. It's keep on.
But anyways, it was one of those nice, like, cheesy songs where they just showed the tribute.
At first, you thought it was actually like a tribute that Marvel was doing themselves.
Oh no, for sure. As soon as I heard the music, I went, "Oh man, these are the students."
Yeah.
From the get-go, I was like, "These are the students," and I love how they keep that ongoing joke that they get the green screen like on the side of their face when they're doing their little show on the school. But yeah, it explains pretty much that in the middle of the school year, people disappeared, and I like the little skit they did where it showed the marching band in the middle of a game and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, it shows the marching band in the middle of a game just boom, disappear. So I thought that was pretty funny. That they actually made like a serious thing.
It was "I Will Always Love You"
Okay.
by Whitney Houston.
I will. Yeah. Okay.
No,
that wasn't that song. but yeah.
Will always love you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, what was that one?
That
It was that
a
one.
tribute.
I was thinking something completely different.
Yeah, that was essentially the song that was in the tribute.
Whatever.
So I read a comment about that scene you just mentioned, Pedro, about the band. They're like, man, the school district is endangering students because in the middle of the fucking aliens attacking the Avengers, they're having a basketball game.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck, that's so true.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they did attack New York.
Yeah.
So even though they're in Queens, it's right there.
Yeah,
You
like
see an alien ship. You're right.
So like they're endangering the students to the basketball game.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
No, but I just don't like that. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we thought were plot holes, they're going to start retconning them slowly, in the movies. Up
Oh, for
ahead.
sure. This movie did it with
Yeah.
the whole
Right, with that
the
one.
blip.
But the blip was, and they end up calling it. It's kind of interesting when they showed the people dying. They actually showed Captain America as one of the ones that died. So I'm like, I wonder if they just kind of did a story where, like, yeah, he died during the battle. It's interesting.
Or the blip.
I mean, no, because everyone came back
yeah.
in the blip.
And I think history has shown that he did fight in the
So
war.
they're probably just going to chalk it up that he died.
He died
the
in
war
battle,
as,
yeah.
like, whatever the story. Yeah. But yeah, so how did you guys feel how it, because the cliffhanger for Homecoming was that Aunt May finds out that he's Spidey.
What the?
Yeah.
Which is the second time they do it. They did it in this movie, in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, they did do it.
Because at the end, when J.J. Jameson's talking about him, he's like, "What the?"
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I didn't even catch that. That's pretty cool. They're just gonna end the movie with literal what the fuck moments.
It's gonna be awesome.
How did you feel that they kind of just fast forward her reaction to it? Like when the movie starts, she's totally cool with it already.
She already knows.
Yeah, she already knows. It's been a few movies.
I think what it is because of the blip. So it's kind of like
it's been 5 years and change.
So there's nothing. They're trying to reestablish life again. It's just kind of like, all right, you are Spider-Man,
Right.
and you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of you.
And it's been 6-7 months
Yeah.
since then. Oh yeah, yeah.
But she blipped too, right?
She blipped too. Yeah,
Yeah.
she blipped.
I can
Because at
see
first
that.
I was like, wait, we didn't see her full reaction. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, who cares?
I can see that, but I could also see someone being like super paranoid in terms of like, I lost you, we lost each other, like, I don't want you doing it again. But whatever, I did like the lightheartedness of it all.
It was also how Martin Starr said that his wife pretended to blip.
Oh my god, yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was so funny. That was a funny scene, dude. You gotta admit, right?
Orlando doesn't like any of the jokes. If they're not dad jokes, they're not Orlando
They're
jokes.
pretty funny.
That was a funny scene. I was laughing. God, I was gonna mention something else. All right, so one of the things I really, really, really disliked about this movie, and I mentioned to you, Pedro, earlier,
Okay.
was a scene where Peter was in a bar with Mysterio, and he has his mask off completely.
Oh my god, yeah.
That fucking threw me off.
I agree 100%.
And I'm just like, what the fuck are you, Spider-Man, doing without your mask on in a fucking random
Mysterio
bar?
with his glowy suit. They're just sitting
But
in a
you
bar.
saw what happened, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yes, but it doesn't
they went in
matter.
there thinking that.
They went. Peter Parker himself went in there thinking it's a random bar.
Yes.
Mysterio knew that it wasn't a random bar, but Peter Parker didn't know that. So Peter Parker essentially took off his mask
In public.
in a random bar
Where anyone can just take a photo of your face.
and like everybody saw him fighting with Mysterio. So it's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and Mysterio came out on the news, so they know who he is now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the same thing. I went, what the fuck
That
is
threw
going
me
on
off
here?
so much when I was watching
I mean, it threw me off at first, and I agree with you. And I thought, well, then when I saw it was a hologram, and
Right.
everyone in the bar was in on it,
Right.
I was like, okay, Mysterio just used them. But now I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
It makes sense for Mysterio to be like, I don't give a fuck, because everyone here, I'm playing this game.
I'm playing me, yeah.
Yeah. But for Spider-Man to do it, I could see that.
Hey, kid,
That
come
threw
in
me
for
off.
a drink. Okay, zoom, takes off his
So
mask.
what I would love to see is like the half mask that he usually always does when he's eating or drinking, whatever.
Yeah, that would have been a lot.
That would have
better.
been logical.
in public, absolutely.
But I guess what they were trying to go for is that you wanted to see his facial expressions when he was like, "Hey, take what was her name? Edith.
Edith.
Hey, take Edith, whatever.
Right,
you know,
right.
they're trying to so you could see his facial reaction and
Yeah,
emotions to the scene.
I actually think you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what they wanted. They wanted to show because it was supposed to be a real heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Where he like completely trusts him and he accepts him as his father figure, his new
Yeah,
father.
essentially. But fuck, dude, like it just didn't make sense. You know, even though he himself was hiding, he was hypocritical if you think about it, because he was trying to cover himself. Like, hey, if I'm out here and people are gonna know Spider-Man's out here, so it's like I can't be out there, you know, saving the world with my
Yeah,
crash trip.
it is
It was a conflict.
it's a plot hole for sure, especially a character development wise, because it literally just throws out what you just said out the window
Yeah,
for you to risk it, especially after a big fight, to take off your mask. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. How'd you feel about the actual reveal? Like in that bar right after.
I
that?
really liked it.
Like the way they.
Yeah,
did
it was perfect. He was essentially a butthurt employee of Stark.
Isn't that funny that all of his villains so far are just butthurt employees of Stark?
Yeah, essentially.
I like how I told you this earlier. I like how they portrayed Mysterio as pretty much. I keep calling him psychotic James Cameron. Like he's such a perfectionist.
But
Yeah.
You know, with the way things look, like the VFX. He's even in like the green, the I don't know why I said the green, the mocap suit.
The mocap
Yeah.
suit.
that Mark Ruffalo wears. So it's almost breaking the fourth wall, like the special effects, the mocapping. And he was like, "Oh, iron out those wrinkles." Like it shows that he was a very like perfectionist.
He was so
and even when one of the guys like messed up something, he had one of the drones like almost shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, this is totally like him cranked.
He
out
was
at
a director,
100.
yeah.
Like you could tell they were having fun portraying him as a crazy director, probably based off stuff they've seen.
probably, yeah. It's just that was my second thing I hate about the movie, was that we didn't spend enough time with Mysterio.
yeah, I agree.
So in the first movie, you know, Homecoming, you spent some time with the villain. You understood his machinations. You understood where he was coming from. He was also, again, like you said, he was a butthurt villain because of Stark. Because Stark took away his contract.
Yeah, but he was way more three-dimensional.
But he was more three-dimensional. There was more facets to him.
I
than
agree with that.
Just being butthurt.
Yeah,
you know?
there was layers to it. Like he wasn't just doing it just to get back at Stark. He was doing it for also like, I lost my life, my
Yeah.
money, my wages. I gotta find a way to provide
Yeah,
for my
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So it was more of like, I'm doing this more for family.
Yeah,
for
because he
money.
invested so much money into that cleanup.
Right,
You know?
and it was this guy's clearly just doing it for power.
Power.
Right, and
for,
fame and
which
yeah.
typical villain stuff. I want
it
more
is.
power.
Yeah,
basically.
but the reason I do agree with you, the Vulture, and the more I think about it, Vulture is the way better villain. But I
Yeah.
just like the style of this. Like,
For sure.
the way he exuded just the fucking craziness
Yeah.
to a normal actor, a regular actor. It would have seemed too cartoony, but to me, he did a way like where he was just enjoying
It was a
just
hit.
enough.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, any other actor would not be able to pull this off. I'd be like, oh god, he's like an Austin Powers villain practically.
exactly.
But for Jake Gyllenhaal, I was like, you got this, dude. Like I don't know what it was, but it flowed.
Again,
for me.
it's because he's a good actor.
Yeah.
And that's the major part is that you need actors who are good actors to portray those subtle moments and
Yeah.
subtle things that make the fucking role overall better. Because if it was any other actor, it would have been a terrible villain.
Yeah.
Because there was not enough meat on the bones, I guess you
and
could say.
it's a very campy role. It's a very
It was very campy. It almost felt like what we call the bad Batman movies,
Yeah.
like "Ice to see you" type shit. You know what I mean? But
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah. But he nailed it.
But he nailed it. So like he did a really good job with the role. It's just I wanted to spend more time with him. Like I wanted to understand more. There has to be Like,
I mean,
why did you create the technology to begin with? Like, I would have loved to know that.
Actually, did he explain it?
He didn't explain. He just said, "I created this," and Tony Stark took it and he made a living room thing or something like that.
Yeah, he made.
And then he dumped me because he said I was too crazy.
Yeah, therapeutic, and called it barf, which I really liked because I remember that from Civil War, so it's kind of nice. And then of course they showed the other scientists.
It's cool how they did a callback because it was the scientist from the first Iron Man,
right,
who couldn't replicate. I forgot the name of that.
The chest piece.
Chest piece. Yeah, I don't remember it.
The arc reactor.
The arc reactor. He couldn't replicate it.
Yeah.
So, dude, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" They brought him back.
I'm like, that's the guy where he goes in a cave with a box of scraps. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It was so good.
I
man.
just kept thinking, damn, they're all Iron Man villains. Poor Peter.
Yeah. So so essentially, what it's trying to tell you is that Iron Man is so big in his fucking universe. He's a fucking major player.
Not only did he literally like create it, but they're actually really showing it in this movie universe that he's everything. He's the bones.
Yeah, he is the bones. Like, because there's villains coming out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's like, fuck, dude. Like, that's insane.
I did like how even in his death, they still found the ways to make it funny, like his personality, like Edith.
Yeah,
what Edith stood for. Even in death, I am the hero.
Yeah.
So it's like you always, you're still an asshole.
And there's always like even though he did pass away, there was always touches of him throughout the movie, whether it be on the side of a building and there's a memorial to him, or even when basically he there's a whole lab in like the Avengers airplane
the plane, right,
that allows him to make a whole new costume.
Yeah,
like
that's insane.
Tony built that, realizing, hey, like one day you might need a costume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's everything you need for it.
I actually thought that was a really nice scene though, because this movie focused a lot on Happy as well to kind of show how he's dealing with it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to see him seeing that. So that was kind of like, I want to say like his closure to Tony's death, like seeing him like tinkering with it. Just
like
he would see Tony.
You potentially could be the next Tony.
Yeah. I mean, I know the movie tried their hardest to say, I'm not Tony, I'm something else. Please stop comparing me to him. But like at least Happy was like, the future's safe.
Like you're gonna be okay, and I think that's what it more was like. You're gonna be all right. Like,
you got this.
Especially when you, like you said, you took the wheel in terms of like, yo, Happy, do this, and I need this, and then he starts thinking. I think that was a sign of like, oh shit, you got this. Like I don't have to worry about you anymore.
And it's a great 180 to how their relationship was in Homecoming.
Yeah,
because
he's a total dick.
He couldn't fucking stand him. But then he's there's also the ongoing joke that he's got the hots for Aunt May, and they were dating. They did date.
They dated.
Right. They both disagreed on whether they are or not dating. So
she's like, we were just having a summer fling. He's like, no, I thought it was more than a summer fling.
But it almost shows like he's now going to be like the crazy uncle character maybe in the future movies.
Probably
possible. So I think that's kind of nice because I always like Jon Favreau's character as a side character. He's like a nice,
and it's cool to see Favreau still in the world.
Yeah,
because
the world that he started.
He created it. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool to still see him pop up every once in a while.
He directed Iron Man.
He directed Iron Man.
I don't know if
Iron Man 1 and 2.
He definitely directed it. Yeah, 1 and 2. You're right.
Yeah, so it's just awesome to see Favreau still in this world. And I'm like, damn, that's so cool, man. That's so cool.
Are you guys bummed that the multiverse isn't real yet?
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that.
I mean, yes and no, because it was kind of like, it was on the wall that it wasn't real, because like when they announced in the trailers that there was a multiverse, and then the writers of Endgame were like, we didn't know there was a multiverse. So it's just like, how did you not know?
Oh, they did say that?
Yeah, like, so like when all of this was coming out, people were just like, because everyone was so confused about the blip and like, what does it mean? And then everyone had different answers. Remember when like people were contradicting themselves? And then there were also, and so when they brought up the multiverse thing, the writers of Endgame were like, oh, we had no idea about the multiverse.
That's right. We did talk about it. The directors treat it as one timeline, while some of the writers treat it as multiple timelines.
Right. So like everybody was on different pages of like, what does this all mean? Mm-hmm. And so so it was on the wall that the multiverse wasn't real, kind of, but it was kind of funny that I still want it to exist, though.
And I think it is gonna exist, especially now that J.J. Jameson is the fucking same actor from Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah. He's thinking that now because they tied in the actors, they'll be able to
like that has to mean something. Dude.
Maybe it honestly just means that they couldn't cast anyone else.
No, it just means they have fucking balls, dude. Kevin Feige didn't give a fuck, dude? He's like, yeah, I want this motherfucker back.
What they're doing with that
He has
is
balls, dude, to
what
do
they're
that.
doing with that is what they're gonna do with Deadpool. They're like, we're gonna recast Wolverine. We're gonna recast everyone, but we're not gonna recast Deadpool. Why? Because no one can portray Deadpool.
Can't match that.
I think it's more. Of course, it's ballsy.
It's so ballsy.
But it was more of the fact that we really can't find anyone.
I mean, if you really wanted to and really tried, you could have.
But why? But you don't really need to.
But that's the point.
He's available.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great at it.
Amazing at it.
I mean, you really think he's gonna stay as Commissioner Gordon?
No,
Get
he's
the
not,
fuck
dude.
outta here.
There's no Justice League 2 anymore.
Which is funny. I told her mom this, but when I was in the theater and that scene came out at the end, some guy in the back goes, "Oh my god, it's Commissioner Gordon!" And I like turned around and went, "Like, really? That's who you know him as? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude!"
It's funny because like I was talking to someone and they're like, "Oh, well, he doesn't have the hair," and I was like, "It doesn't matter anymore."
gives a
Doesn't matter.
fuck?
I was like, the point is for the fans is just having him.
Yeah.
he literally
he came back.
They can literally, they could have literally just aged him if they wanted to make him like a decrepit mummy.
Yeah.
As long as it's him,
It's
nobody
him.
cares.
He still has the flavor. He still had the.
He still had the charisma, but it's funny because he seems more like the Spider-Man from the Spider-Man game. I mean,
Yes.
the J. Simpson from the Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Than he does actually the Daily Bugle.
Right, which I think is really good because
Is modernizing the
it's-
news.
It's modernizing it, and it's also like a satire. I took it as a satire of like the InfoWars.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. You know, it's kind of like that type of character that's gonna hit you with. The
But I hope
fake
he's
news.
not like that though.
I
I actually hope he's
I
more
think
like
he's
the
gonna-
one from the game.
No, I
Because the game, he had that flavor, but he also was like, you know what, man? Like, Spider-Man does some good, but he's a fucking asshole. And I hate him. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
in the game, not really.
no. In the game, it was
In
like
the
more.
game, he had moments where he was like, oh,
Well-
he did save us, but fuck that guy, man.
Well,
like,
well,
exactly.
He
He
had
did.
moments like that when people called in, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Spider-Man did save my baby from
He's
a
like-
burning building." It's like, yeah, but he started that fire anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, but it was selfish because he was on a camera phone, like being caught on film.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He never defended him though. He would just kind of like dance around the question.
Yeah.
he still
So-
is the asshole, and I hope he stays that asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
because that's part of his charm.
Yeah, it's so good though. They brought him back, man. Like, fuck, that blew my mind when I saw it in the after credits. That literally blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, they brought him back. I literally said that, dude. And
Yeah,
the girl
yeah.
next to me was just kind of like looking at me. I was just like, oh, what is that? It was so good, man. I was just, fuck.
So going back to that multiverse question, I actually liked that they didn't do the multiverse thing. I
Do you
feel
want a
like-
multiverse or no?
Yes, but that needs to be like Avengers level shit. That can't be in a Spider-Man movie. Like I've always felt that whenever there's a big crossover movie like this, they really need to like shrink it down to something more close. Like I know I was just kind of talking crap of Ant-Man and Wasp, but I did like that movie, and I did like that it took a break from all the world-ending shit from
Infinity War.
Infinity War to bring it back down. So I felt that after something so big as Endgame, you need to like chill out. So I like that this was more grounded. It was really just he wasn't like the world wasn't at stake, you know, not really.
No, it wasn't. It was just a guy trying
It
to,
was just a guy trying to be a copycat hero.
yeah, trying to be a hero, essentially.
and reap the benefits, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, did you like some of those funny moments like where he was trying to get the ETA technology and then he accidentally almost like assassinated that kid, or did you think
No,
that was awesome?
that gag, I didn't really enjoy it.
I actually like that one.
It was okay.
I honestly,
just-
like,
didn't really-
I
it was kind of,
didn't really laugh
I didn't
that
laugh.
much in the
I didn't
movie,
laugh.
like in general in the movie.
Well, that gag, I didn't laugh at that gag.
So
I think I laughed more at Happy when he the whole hot I made thing when he was kind of flirting with her and Peter was just like, what?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, I laughed at those moments. And the other moments were like the classroom, like when his friend was like, hey, you know, we need to be single and be out there with European women that love
Oh,
American
yeah.
guys. And then he gets out of the plane and he's like, oh, I got a girlfriend now. He's
got a
like,
girlfriend.
what? But you wanted to be single.
Yeah.
So that was a funny
Yeah,
gag.
what about the bachelors? You
Yeah.
know, through Europe. Yeah.
He's like that, and then at the end of it, they broke up. So it's just like a trip fling.
Yeah, he's like, hey, we got a double date. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
we broke up. You know.
I actually really like that.
That gag was pretty funny.
That gag, yeah.
I also like the running. I don't think it was a running gag, but the beginning of the movie with the gag of the Asian kid who grew up to be a beefcake.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, he's so hot now. He's trying to get at MJ and whatever. I thought that was pretty funny gag.
Yeah.
They didn't really continue it afterward. But whatever. Like that was funny because you see the blip happen because the 5 years happened, and some kids did grow up. You know,
that is cool. That is cool in the sense of like, well, they were either like middle school and now they're literally like the same age.
Yeah.
And it's like
last time I saw him, he was a fucking J, and now he's the hottest guy in school, whatever.
So I did like that because it kind of sets in.
I wish there was more characters like that.
Like it showed consequence to what happened.
Right.
Yeah, but I wish there was more of those characters they didn't have. He was the only one main.
Right. Too often comics will say, this will change the world forever. And you're like, yeah, man, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this one did for the movies.
Yeah.
Sure, it's side stuff in a way, but...
And also, the other thing I did like was at the beginning of the movie, the reporters, when they were doing the memorial, and they came back, and the kid... Because last time he was very subdued. In the first movie, he was very subdued. You know, the two reporters, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the ones in the beginning, right.
Yeah, so the guy, he was very subdued in the first one. He was very awkward. And this one, he was like, fuck it, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
This ain't no school. We're going to go crazy. I don't care about anybody. Like that. I thought that gag was pretty funny. Because in the first movie, again, I see the movie a lot because I'm a kid.
I was going to say, you must have just freshly watched it because I didn't even catch that.
Because in the first movie, they were both very awkward with each other. And in the first movie, he was very like quiet, like so awkward. And this one, he was just like fucking free and he didn't care. And like, I survived the blip or whatever. And
I like how now they keep trying to add in, they're adding more like characters. So I didn't catch her in the first movie, but she's actually Betty Brant. That actually does like.
Yeah, in the first movie, it says in her name, Betty Brant.
Right. I didn't catch that, but she actually does in the comics marry Ned at one point.
Oh,
Ned
shit.
is there.
Well, you see a love interest also for Peter?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was like some weird...
Like some fling.
Yeah, but obviously, this movie's not... Like, that's it. He's with MJ, so that's it. There's going to be nothing else. If anything, they're going to bring in, like, maybe Black Cat, like, later on to kind
maybe
of...
Black Cat.
Like,
I don't even think so.
I think so. They haven't put her in yet. They'll put her in.
I don't think
But anyways,
Black Cat.
Well, we'll save that for the Phase 4 MCU.
Yeah, for sure. But... If he right now, he is probably a sophomore now, if they do a new movie. So it's kind of like, is it really going to be?
He's going to be a sophomore? I thought he was going to be a junior.
No, I mean, a junior. At this point, he's going to be a junior. I don't think he's going to be a senior next movie.
I would have liked for it to... I would like for the movie, in my opinion, the movie to either end with him graduating high school or him already graduating high school.
The next one.
So the summer of him graduating.
But what is this movie? Let's just cut right to it. The cliffhanger for this movie, how's it going to affect that? Everyone knows who he is now.
So like I mentioned to you, Pedro.
So that's going to affect his school. So you think he's going to be at school during the next movie?
I don't think so. And I also do believe, because even the director mentioned it, that he wanted Kraven the Hunter to be the next villain.
Yeah.
So it makes sense with the plot now. Because Peter's going to be on the run. So it makes sense.
Maybe we don't know how it's going to be exactly.
I do. He has to. There's no way they're gonna Aunt May this. You know what I'm saying? Aunt May of like, you know, a few months past and you don't know the resolution there.
Yeah.
This is actually gonna affect his world. It's gonna destroy his world essentially. And he's gonna be on the run. And who else better to track him down? Kraven the Hunter.
Right.
Well, I do think, because someone asked me like, oh, what do you think is gonna happen? And I'm like, well, MCU wise, most of the characters of the MCU, their identity's been revealed. And one of the biggest things about Peter Parker is that he doesn't want to reveal his identity because his loved ones are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And so it's a perfect time to reveal his identity because now he's with MJ. Mm-hmm. So now we can have the damsel in distress. So like they're going to go that route.
No, definitely not.
This series, they try to stay away from the damsel in distress as much as possible.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I do think that at one point in the next movie, she will be like taken or something. And it's like, what are you gonna do, Peter Parker? Choose.
I don't think she's gonna.
They're not gonna do that for the third time. You know they've done that already.
They've done that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do that, but they're gonna probably use her as a chip, as in like, hey, I'm gonna go after her, or you could come after me.
Well, kind of like what Mysterio did here.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, you're friends. I got drones on them. You know.
Yeah. It's some gag like that. I mean, not gag, but
fully not executed, but just have it there.
Yeah, it's like lingering over his head. Like, what options do I have? Because I need to protect my family and I also need to save the city.
Yeah. I mean, anything could happen, but I don't think they're gonna go that route. That's a little too mustache twirling to me.
Yeah.
So they're really trying to make this like 21st century.
Yeah.
Right. Not follow the same tropes that we did
exactly.
before. But, you know, this is going to be his third movie. And usually, so far, I think they sign out of the contract with like 5 movies. I think Samuel is like the only one.
No,
I think Samuel's the longest.
Tom Holland is signed for 6 movies.
6 movies?
Jesus.
Shit.
But
it was 3 cameos and 3 Spider-Man movies. So he already did the 3 cameos. He has 2 Spider-Man movies. He has 1 left in the contract. Apparently, this is the rumor of the contract stipulation that Sony has with the MCU. The contract stipulation is that if this movie reaches $1 billion, MCU still has control over the last movie. If it doesn't reach $1 billion, it goes back to Sony. That's the rumor.
I was just reading an article of that today, and I'm like,
exactly.
Fuck, dude.
That's a rumor. It's a rumor. Nobody knows his fucking contract. Nobody even knows what's in the contract. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Tom Holland's contract because he mentioned that he has a 6-movie stipulation, but nobody knows how the joint venture of Spider-Man between MCU and Sony actually works. But that's a stipulation apparently that if this movie reaches $1 billion, MCU has control over the last movie. But if it doesn't, it goes back to Sony, and Sony does whatever the fuck they want.
Well, I feel like Sony would be
stupid
enough.
Exactly.
I think they could take it back, but I think they would be smart enough to be like, hey, we're gonna take the rights back, but maybe we cut you a deal in terms of profits if you guys help us work on it.
I don't think Marvel cares about profits. I think they care about using the character.
Yeah. The
like
IP.
they want control over using the character in the universe. I think Sony cares more about money.
I really wish the Venom didn't make that much money, because then they would have no ground to stand on.
Exactly.
But
that's the fucking problem.
The fact that Venom made money, because the argument could be said that Sony Spider-Man movies just don't make money. So it has to be MCU Spider-Man movies. But honestly, no.
Venom made money. Venom made almost 900 million.
Yeah, it made
900 million, dude. Almost 900 million. That's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but the Spider-Verse didn't make that much money.
No, it didn't.
But it won an Oscar.
It's also an anime though.
Yeah, but like, it's an animation movie. Animation movies make money, dude. And Spider-Verse didn't make that money, and that's a problem. So like, but I think Sony feels invigorated by the Venom movie,
which sucks because now they're like, Mobius.
It'll be,
but Mobius is not gonna make money though.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be really weird though, in terms of like fans. Like for example, we follow the storyline. So if they get the rights back, obviously they can't. They can't incorporate any Marvel superheroes.
Sony always has the rights, and they will forever have the rights. Right. They own Spider-Man.
Right.
That's it. Like it's no longer a Marvel character.
They might sell it.
Own unless they sell it. But they own, and they're not gonna sell the only major piece of property they have as a studio. They're never gonna sell it, dude. There's no fucking point. Yeah, Sony doesn't have nothing.
Yeah, they have to buy the whole studio to get that.
Yes, essentially, and that's not gonna happen.
That's never gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen unless somebody else buys Sony. Disney's not gonna be able to buy Sony because then it's gonna be a monopoly essentially. Like that was the problem they have with Fox. The government won't allow it. They're not gonna allow it. So Sony will forever have the rights to Spider-Man. Marvel will never ever have it unless it does joint ventures like it has done right now with Sony.
Right, but think of it.
Sony with Venom, it made money, and they're like, oh well, if we made money with Venom, imagine what we could do with Spider-Man now.
I understand the politics and the legality of it all, like legally what it means. But just think about it as a viewer, like if the next movie takes place with what happened, okay. But then you have to like take away all of the Marvel references because you can't use that. So then what world do you have?
Exactly. I don't know. It's going to be stupid.
Spider-Verse. He goes into the Venom world. That's it. Boom. They brought him back. They brought him into the Venom world, and now he's living in that world. It could be solved, dude.
Technically, yeah.
They could do whatever the fuck they want, you know, if they don't have the MCU. So
actually, I do like that idea though, because then it opens. It gives the reason for the Spider-Verse to exist. It gives the reason for the multi-universe to exist.
For sure, hell yeah. And imagine if they bring back all the Spider-Man.
The multiverse.
Like the multiverse, yeah.
Imagine they bring back all the Spider-Man that I fucking want. Like they bring back,
Maguire,
and Andrew Garfield.
I would really love that.
Oh my god!
But-
I'll pay for it, dude. I'll pay for it.
But I you know what? I do like that because like at the end of the day, I like that a lot, and I would like to see that.
I'd love to see that
Because
shit. And they have Miles in
if
it
they
too?
open up the multiverse and they go into the Spider-Man universe, the Venom universe, let's just say that becomes a universe.
Right, the Venomverse, yeah.
Then Sony can just do what they want. I mean, Marvel can do what they want, and no, they don't have to worry about the multiverse. When they can do that whenever they want, whenever. And then if Sony ever wants to like share again, all right, let's just pop them back into the universe.
Yeah, it could happen, dude.
I really do like that idea, though.
We don't know what's gonna happen because after the next movie, the third Spider-Man, we don't know what's gonna happen. Like essentially, there's no deal after the third Spider-Man movie.
Right.
So like, what's gonna happen with that?
And the thing is, it's weird because as the MCU, I don't see it dying. I don't see it dying for a while.
No, if they're able to change it
But
up,
but it's I'm 99% positive this is the downslope though.
Right, but the downslope.
wait, you can't say that, dude. Spider-Man is about to hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
This movie has the century mark already. It has 500 million in its freaking first week. The last movie before that was Endgame, which made almost beat Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
The movie before that was Captain Marvel, which made $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like
I still think
the only way you will know if it's the end, if let's see how Black Widow does.
If they start making less and less and less, and they become.
If Black Widow,
so I still call. I think it's gonna peak at almost beating Avatar. You think it's gonna peak that high again?
I don't think no movie's gonna ever touch.
So that's what I mean.
that.
Downward slope.
No, it's not a downward slope. If a movie's making $1 billion, it's not a downward slope.
Okay,
dude.
so it peaked.
Yes.
It peaked.
Yes.
Okay, I guess yeah.
If you look at this in a graph, it
nothing
peaks.
will ever touch.
It peaks.
Endgame.
But
ever
so-
again.
so you
enough,
agree?
It's enough to keep around, though.
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
if movies keep hitting $1 billion, it doesn't fucking
Yeah,
matter.
I don't think it's gonna die out, but that's it. It'll never ever
No, it will never
reach
touch
these numbers
But
ever.
my point is that the MCU is around. It's gonna be around for like the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're saying it shows no sign of stopping, right?
no trying to stop it. So
I agree with you.
So what do they? So if and at the end of the day, Tom Holland is a young guy.
He's so young, dude. He's like 20 or 21.
He could sign up to do another like 6 movies,
and it's smarter for him to do that.
right? Or he could say, "Nah, I don't want to do that anymore." He looks like he's having a great time.
He's having a ball, dude.
So I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's going. He's gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
It looks like he's having a phenomenal time.
He's gonna be in Uncharted. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
But as far as another
No,
franchise,
but I'm saying like Sony or Marvel are gonna offer him the money. They're gonna give it to him. So
Well,
he
he's
looks-
a Sony character, so
yeah.
it's
So
Sony.
Sony's gonna offer him the money. It's they made money consistently. So and I feel like he's gonna take it. But at the end of it, like, what does Marvel do if they have to end Spider-Man though? Like, how would they
They
end?
write him off, dude. It doesn't matter. They have the X-Men back again, so it doesn't really matter, dude.
And what I
the
think-
MCU will survive without Spider-Man. It did it before.
I agree.
And it will after.
And maybe they won't be able to do it, but because it's a Sony property. But Miles Morales, the blip.
But the thing is that Miles Morales is a Sony character.
he's still a Sony character.
Sony, still
character.
Sony.
They
dude.
literally just made a movie about him, Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It was all about Miles.
So the thing is that look, just for the MCU purpose,
right.
Spider-Man does not exist.
I mean, I
without Sony.
get where his head's at. The
Yeah, for
blip.
sure.
He's older. He'll
Yeah.
be, I get it.
but because he was meant the Prowler. I mean, his uncle was mentioned in the first movie. It's
Right.
been 5 years. Miles Morales must be 12 by now or something
He's
like that.
old enough to be the next
Unless he
Spider-Man.
blipped, but I don't think he.
no,
did.
he
I
didn't
don't
blip.
think- I don't think so.
They're gonna make him not blip so
Yeah.
that he can age.
Yeah,
for sure.
So they can use him.
So he's there.
could use
He's
him.
there. So if they do the Spider-Verse, he's in there.
and I feel like even let's say for some reason Tom Hardy doesn't sign on, they have Miles there now because it'd be perfect in terms
sure.
of like story wise.
So the thing is that like.
If
In the end, Spider-Man does not exist without Sony. If Sony's like, fuck you, MCU, we could do it on our own because we made money with Venom, it's going to happen. Because they own him. They own Spider-Man as a character.
Right.
So we're still going to have one more movie, hopefully, in the MCU. And after that, it's up to Sony to see whether they want to make a
Right.
deal again with MCU or not. So enjoy it while we can. You know, so far the 2 movies have been great.
yeah, Sony's gonna fuck it up.
Homecoming was fucking awesome. Far From Home was great. So it's just like let's enjoy Tom Holland. He's so far been the best incarnation of Spider-Man we've seen.
By far.
You know what I'm saying? He's a great Peter Parker. He's a great Spider-Man.
Orlando's a little quiet. What do you think?
I think Orlando wants to say that he probably needs to be more quips, more quippy.
Nah.
He just wants to suck Tobey Maguire's.
Nah. I think out of ranking the Spider-Mans, I think he is the best one. I think each of them have been fun. All of them have been great.
All right, Tobey Maguire shines in the crying.
For sure.
Uncle Ben.
I think Toby shines in the terms of like an older Spider-Man. I think he does a good job in terms of like, I'm in college, I'm an adult, I have to pay my bills.
He's just too fucking awkward.
Yeah, exactly. Awkward adult and like, oh no, my rent's due. I gotta go to work. I gotta make money. Like,
gotta deliver pizzas.
He makes a great quarter life crisis Spider-Man, like that kind of character.
And Garfield nailed the jokes.
Garfield nailed Spider-Man. He didn't nail Peter.
That's actually pretty good. I agree with that.
And then Tom Holland is a balance of the both awkwardness and quirky.
Yeah.
And
then absolutely nails the kid Parker, like
exactly
to the T.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good one. Yeah, Garfield was a good Spidey.
He was a great Spidey.
I did not like his Peter. That's what it was.
Yeah, his Peter.
I didn't like his Peter.
Was too cool for school. You know what's funny? Because I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, man, this in the Far From Home, he's not as like, he's not as like quick with his jokes and witty. And someone's just like, he doesn't want to be Spider-Man right there. I'm like, oh, you're right. Yeah,
he doesn't want to be Spider-Man.
He doesn't want to be Spider-Man right now. Like, oh, you're absolutely right. Why would he make jokes?
Yeah. Hey, sir, can you please stop? I'm trying to continue my trip with my friends. Okay, bye.
Yeah, so I totally get it. And, it's a criticism I had in the beginning, but like I totally took it away. So as soon as someone said that, because it makes sense with the character. And so yeah, getting back to the movie, like we got like on a weird tangent.
Dude, all right, back to the movie. You have something to say?
Yeah, go back to the movie.
Go ahead. Okay, so Pedro, do you think Mysterio is gonna come back?
No, not Jake Gyllenhaal. If anything, maybe those other scientists can kind of bring.
How did he die?
Okay,
I don't realize how he died.
I thought the same thing. I think he really did get shot by the
drone.
The drone, like that part where he got shot wasn't the illusion. The illusion was that he pretended the illusion was that he was still slumped up, even though he actually did get up to sneak up behind Parker. Because I thought the exact same thing you did. When the movie was over, I went to Chantel and I was like, babe, how the fuck did he die? He must have got shot.
He's on the ground and he's bleeding, and then
and then he's behind Parker with the shades.
Yeah, and then he just kind of and Parker just kind of like blocks his he takes up to shoot him, and he like kind of like I think blocks his hand, and then he just falls to the ground and ends up dying.
They didn't do a good job of showing that. They should have showed that he was still shot from the drone, but that's what I took it as.
Oh, so I get what you're saying. So what you're saying is that like as he got shot, he laid down and then made a projection that, and oh man, it's so confusing.
It is.
It's very confusing because I was like, what did Peter didn't really do anything?
They should have showed some type of establishing shot where he's on the floor and then they cut to, I guess they didn't want to show blood. I don't know, but they didn't show the gunshot wound.
Or they're trying to psych you out.
He's legit dead because they even did the whole Edith, is this real, whatever. They showed it. They wouldn't do that explanation and then do a fake out like he was still alive. They wouldn't do that. So I think Jake Gyllenhaal's done. If anything, maybe his face will make cameos because the other scientists will use his
to project it.
Maybe, but he's supposed to be dead. That's the whole thing of why Peter Parker's on the run now. But I went through it really quickly, but I absolutely loved the fight with him and Mysterio. The actual special effects fight.
Oh my God, phenomenal.
It was so good because I thought to myself, dude, Spider-Man like owns this guy in every way. So he needs to be really good at his projections to like fuck up. And they even showed in the beginning of the movie that his Peter tingle wasn't working correctly. So I'm like, this is it. This is going to show that he can't sense what is and what isn't a projection. So it pretty much shows the fight where he gets his ass handed to him that he can't quite grasp.
So from now on, he should be able to be right. He should be able to use his Peter tingle perfectly,
which is good because there were a lot of moments in the other Avengers movies.
Like why didn't he sense that?
Yeah, we're like, why didn't he dodge that? Why didn't he do this? In Homecoming, why didn't he see that if he could see this? We had a lot of questions about that, and this movie pretty much like retconned it. Like, yeah, it's not really working. It's on and off sometimes. Yeah. So I love that this fight was essentially the Scarecrow fight in Arkham. Like, it was total mind games. It was just like fucking you up, total tricks. Even though the trick with Fury, even though I saw that one coming, it was still really good to see. Like all that shit, like, oh, who else knows?
So let's talk about that one. The Skrulls actually being Nick Fury and
Well,
Maria
he's
Hill.
not talking about that, but he's talking about
But I was just talking about how
the fight scene in the middle of all like
Yeah, I know.
the fake out.
Yeah, but as I'm saying, let's talk about that.
So let's just jump to the end.
yeah.
Might as well. I mean, we've fucking been jumping everywhere.
So the whole time I was actually really annoyed that Nick Fury wasn't acting like
Fury.
But I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I already read ahead of time that he was a Skrull. So the whole time watching it, I'm like, okay, he's acting stupid and he's acting like overly cocky. So and he's letting like Happy like roll all over him, because remember he was doing like that. No one talks to me like that, and Happy's like, he kind of like snaps back at him, and he's like,
nobody ghosts me.
yeah, and then he kind of goes like, "Oh, I'll get you next time," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, Fury probably would have like done some shit to him."
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the fact that it's just Talos, which again, this is why I said you got to watch every fucking movie beforehand, because then you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are those green aliens?" You should have watched Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah.
In order to watch Captain Marvel, you should watch, like everything else. So I love that they brought them back, because I love that guy as
he was
Talos.
so good, dude. Ben Mendelsohn was
And
so
it was
good
the same
in that role.
thing. He was like, "Oh, I mean, he was very convincing. Like, I thought he was like, what am I supposed to do?" I love that they kept his charm in it.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think the after credits with him in space means?
So I was confused. I was like, what is Fury doing in space?
It seems like he's building another like Avengers station. In space.
Pretty much
Like Galactic Avengers or something.
Well, what I think he's doing, so pretty much he essentially does like an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D. in space that becomes like protecting, and they call it S.W.O.R.D. So that to me just seems like that's what it is.
Yeah. After reading what S.W.O.R.D. was, it's definitely S.W.O.R.D.
It's totally it. Yeah,
S.W.O.R.D.
And it's a nice offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead, but now we have the S.W.O.R.D. to, whatever.
protect us.
It's all symbolic shit. So.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that they're actually doing that now within the story.
Which could probably even set up like Nova and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nova's gonna happen. I mean,
Right.
we'll talk about this in our
thing,
what's
yeah.
next for MCU, but Nova's definitely gonna happen, and it also sets up that story that you mentioned with Norman.
Oh yeah, Osborn is. It's pretty much rumored that Osborn's going to be the next like story arc
Like
villain.
big bad for the next
Big bad,
few
yeah.
movies. Did you do you wish they would have left the Osborn
I mean,
after credit?
not
in the
really. At first, I did until I saw all the shit that they stuffed at the end. Like he's on the run now. They show J.J. Jameson. It's just so much. If they would have put Osborn again, it would have been like, whoa, there's so much going on. Like just introduce Osborn in the next movie casually, or the next other Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It really wasn't needed, because it's just too much setting up the next movie. I think this one did it just fine.
But it's not like the first time they've done multiple end credits though.
Right, but I mean,
But it would have been an overload.
because this end credit was the end credit of Jameson back and Peter on the run, and then the other one is the beginning of S.W.O.R.D. and the Skrulls are still here and they're still good. So that's already two things.
Yeah, it sets up a lot of.
It sets up a lot.
Well,
story.
It also sets up Secret Invasion if you think about it.
Right, but Secret Invasion was like if they were villains, unless they come up with
Something's
some type,
gonna happen.
some type of renegade squad of Skrulls.
Yeah, something's
maybe.
it has to happen, dude. You can't have the Skrulls and not have Secret Invasion.
Right.
That's fucking like that's a waste of a plot line.
Yeah. Going back to the movie in terms of. So I wanted to talk about the special effects scenes. Like I really did like that scene. Like it was very just like all over the place, constantly changing like settings and fucking with his mind.
Oh right, you're talking about his fight scene. Yeah.
And what I didn't like is like I'm so tired of drones being in movies. I get it's the future, but everything has drones. You know?
Really,
Yeah.
everything has drones. What
A
else?
lot of things have drones. Like it's always like the military drones, something drones. I get it. Drones are.
I mean, yeah.
Are pretty.
That's like saying there are cars everywhere. Why are there cars everywhere?
I get it. I understand.
Like in the 20s, you're like, why are there cars in every movie?
I
What's
get
the
it.
future?
And I get it. Drones are basically the new cars in terms of like military, in terms of like power, whatever. And I just really would have just liked more like
What?
more projections, more of that trippiness.
Yeah.
Cause I just thought overall like it just played better. Like, and I would have liked him to be like more like because Mysterio was such a perfectionist in terms of like projections and like basically his play. Like he was basically it was a big elaborate play that he was doing.
It was right.
And I just wanted him to continue that play. Like the show must go on. Like, okay, you're fucking over my Jones. Fuck it, let me just put you in this whole entire new setting. And he did that for like a split second where like everything went black and he was able to like figure everything out.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why you're talking about the final fight now, where they totally lost their illusion, that's because he was fucking with the drone. So he's like, fuck it, just unplug the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he lost so many drones at that point that if he would have started it, it would have been an incomplete thing. So I mean, it makes sense why he made him like, bare bones.
I just wanted, before that happened, I just wanted more. I just liked it so much that I wanted more.
You wanted another Scarecrow scene.
I thought
it was so good, especially when they put him in his old Spider-Man outfit, and then they showed the zombie Stark and the suit and all that. It was just total mind games. I loved it. I was like, hell yeah, this is totally the Bruce Wayne looking at his parents like grave Scarecrow thing.
It was great. That was literally like one of the best scenes I've seen in a long time in terms of like Marvel movies. I thought it was really, really, really creative and really fun.
I thought to myself, like, even though the effects did look great, I thought to myself, if the effects didn't look good, you could just play it off as like in like canon, saying like, oh yeah, just one of the projections. This doesn't look that good.
Off, yeah.
So there's a way that you can like kind of put, oh yeah, of course it looked bad because it's just a projection. It's not real.
Yeah. What do you guys think of? Obviously, one of the big plots of the movie is he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. He wants to be Peter. He wants to chase after MJ and tell her how he feels.
But that's always been the Peter thing.
Well, what did you guys think about that in this movie?
I like the way they did it. I mean, they did it in Spider-Man 2. They've done it. I mean, Spider-Man 2 got it from the comics. Like, it's been done to death.
Right.
Yeah.
But this one did it, but differently. It wasn't Spider-Man no more and then tosses it in the trash.
Yeah.
He's
like, I do want to be Spider-Man, but I also want to be a fucking kid. Like, I want to live my life. I want to be able to live my life.
Yeah, if I could live my life and then be Spider-Man later, that'd be cool. Yeah. Like, it was more of that. At least that's the way I took it as. I took it as he still did want to do it, but not now.
Yeah, like, at least give me a month of me just being a kid.
Whatever, right.
Let me go on this trip and relax and just be a fucking kid. And then maybe when I get back, I could be Spider-Man again. Yeah. But for this moment, let me focus on what's important to me right now is just be a kid, be with my friends, and try to get MJ.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be a teenager.
Right. And I guess
for this short amount of time.
And I guess that meaning that plot is more not believable, but more understandable because we're all kids. We all been kids before, so we all understand. I'm like, okay, can I just play?
Yeah.
Basically, right. Can I just go? Can I just play and not do my homework right now? That's basically what it was.
I gotta work, but can I just get this one day off? Like stuff like that. It's very,
even as adults, we're like, fuck, dude, can we just get a week of vacation?
Yeah, and it's different as an adult. Like an adult, you're like, well, this is my life, so this is what I have to do. So, so when it's like you said in Spider-Man 2 when he does it, it's different because like you're an adult and you are Spider-Man, so get to it.
Yeah. Spider-Man, no more. I'm like, okay. Although that's actually my favorite Spider-Man movie. That's not.
What do you guys think?
Number 2?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about? Is mine too. What do you guys think about MJ? Like we talked about her in terms of like a character, in terms of like how she's.
I really like her. I really like her
for sure. And MJ is great. But what I didn't like, it felt shoehorned in the first movie. I think I even mentioned that like, all of a sudden you're MJ, and like you should have just been MJ from the beginning. Like,
right.
I don't. That's the fake out. That's just how it was.
But I don't need a fucking fake out.
You don't need a fake out. You don't like writing. You don't like.
No, but it's not even that. Just make her MJ from the beginning and say she's MJ from the beginning. Like, I don't need her to be.
It was a twist.
Stay here and then become MJ.
It's kind of like how Jameson is Jameson now. It's J.K. Simmons. It's a twist. It's a fake out. It's a surprise.
Is it a twist? He is J.J. Jameson.
Right, like, but it's a twist.
That's not a twist. It's not a fake out.
It's a twist. They use him again.
Yeah, you see it coming. That's what it was. It's like,
that's all it was. It only works the first time. It's just one of those.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a problem with her being MJ. Like, fuck it. Like, Zendaya's pretty cool. And the thing is, I just hated how they introduced her into the world. She should have just been MJ. That's it.
I get it. I get it in terms of writing. It's just like, we have to give the character, like the audience, a wink and a nod.
Yeah.
I don't even remember her name in the movie. Like, what was her name in the first movie?
They didn't call her anything.
Her name is MJ.
Yeah, they just called her.
At the end, they called her MJ. She's like, oh, wait, hey, you blank. This is your.
Oh yeah, just call me MJ.
And she's like, oh, just call me MJ.
Michelle.
Okay.
Right.
Michelle. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it says here, a reimagined modern day version of Mary Jane Watson. That's all it is. It's kind of like how they reimagined his best friend. His best friend is really supposed to be Genki, which is a Miles Morales character. But he looks just like him, but they just changed the name to this other guy that ends up being Hobgoblin.
Right.
Ned. So it's kind of like, why did you do that? What was the point of that? Who fucking cares? It's just that MJ is such a more iconic character that
No,
you
for
notice
sure,
that
she
you
is.
noticed him more. But really, they've just been doing that throughout the whole movie. They've been doing like, hey, here's this, but then here's this as well. Let's just mix it so that it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
I love the way they've been portraying her. That it doesn't hit the same stereotypes, but it's still
she's
fun.
a theater actress and all this bullshit, and like she wants to act.
Right.
Doesn't hit that. She's just a smart girl.
Right, exactly. And to me, at least, it doesn't hit you over the head with like, I don't know.
Teen drama.
The teen, right, exactly. I fucking hate like teen drama shit, and this is literally like high school drama.
This is
exactly,
drama.
but they do it in such a way that I'm just like, okay, I'm cool with that.
It's very subtle, I guess, because also the MJ character is a very just chill character.
Yeah.
So like when it is, crazy and the emotions are high, her character is also very mellow, so she doesn't add to the drama.
Right.
And even if she flips out, where she has a little bit of flipping out.
She's flipped out.
She's flipped out for sure in this movie, and it's warranted. It doesn't last long in terms of like, oh my god, and oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. All right, let me.
Yeah, when the drones are after you, oh my god, it's like, yeah, there's drones after you.
Yeah. So it I guess it doesn't add to the drama of like two kids like playing house.
Yeah, for sure.
So now that I mentioned that part real quick, what about the joke where Happy has to throw the shield and he fucking misses it completely?
I think it was funny.
Dude, I thought that shit was so funny.
was funny,
because
dude.
the whole time he has a shield, I'm like, he's gonna do it. And when he did it,
he's like, how does Captain do this?
dude, I was cracking up at that part.
That was
Well,
funny.
I'm telling you, man. Like I don't know what I wish I knew.
Were you feeling okay? Because you laugh at everything.
Yeah, you love the dumbest shit.
You laugh
around,
at
bro.
everything.
I just really wasn't. I didn't think that was funny, man.
Wow.
A lot of jokes just felt off. Like it just felt off.
I've seen you laugh at like the dumbest shit, dude.
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
dumber than that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that was pretty smart and it was pretty funny, like the way
Yeah.
they put it into the movie.
I agree with you. Dude. I have a lot of dumber stuff, but like for me, I don't know, dude.
I mean, he can't explain it. It just fell flat. I know exactly what you mean. There's been jokes where everyone's like, "Oh, that was good." I'm like, I don't know. It just wasn't.
Well, maybe
good.
I watched the movie by myself, and I was sitting in like like not the nosebleeds, but like the beginning of like the where it goes.
Our seats weren't that bad, dude.
Well, I didn't watch it with you.
We did go together.
To Homecoming.
Not Homecoming.
No, we're talking about Far
We're
From
talking
Home.
about Far From
Far From
Home.
Home. I didn't watch it with you.
We went together. We just didn't sit next to each other. We were in the same row. Don't you fucking remember?
No, dude, I didn't go with you.
Oh my god. Wait.
I didn't go with you.
So what movie did we see together? We see so
you
many
saw-
movies together.
You saw the movie at 10:45, and I saw it at 7.
Oh, that's right. You did see it by yourself.
I didn't go with you. Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I saw the movie.
It was yesterday that we
Yes.
same theater.
So I guess I figured out. Or Orlando does not laugh at any movies when he's by himself. He needs to be with people in order to like.
He's
joke.
self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I loved, and
Yeah, because you saw it with me.
and I saw, but chill.
Uh-huh.
I didn't sit with you.
It doesn't matter. You still saw it with me.
Oh, their presence.
yeah.
I'm 2 seats away from you, dude.
I'll only ever believe you if you watch a movie by yourself and you come back saying, "I loved it."
What I'm trying to say is that I was sitting by myself, and I wasn't. It was the escalade of chairs about to start. I was in the first row of that. So before it goes up.
Before it goes up, okay.
Yeah, where you
I-
could actually put your feet on the bars.
Right in front of.
Not even the bars. I'm on the handicaps. I'm on the floor.
Oh, you're in the handicap area.
Yeah, I'm on the handicap area.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely breaking neck there.
So I'm not breaking neck. Actually, I thought it was
No,
fine.
pretty good?
It's good.
Really?
Solid. If you ever if you ever try to go to see a movie and you're like, ooh, it's handicap, just get it. It's fine.
Okay.
I sat there for like Godzilla. I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
it's solid. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
So I wasn't surrounded by people because it's a handicap seat.
So you need to be surrounded by people to find it funny?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like sometimes laughter is contagious. And since I was with 2 other people, I laughed more than them. And I got super excited for the Jonah Jameson part, and they were like, "What the fuck?" But maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I think you need to watch it again.
Yeah. Well, I want to go watch it again in IMAX, so we could do that.
maybe. But like I said, like it just I don't know. I honestly every joke to me just felt fucking off. Just really like insert joke here, insert joke there. Oh yeah, you Flash, you saw Peter there, and you know he's there. Fuck it. When he walks 2 more steps forward, Call him a dickwad. Especially when like, oh, I'm talking about Spider-Man. Okay, and then Peter is there. Hey, what's up, dickwad? It's just like, all right,
I
dude.
think because you already saw the joke though.
Maybe.
Because if you saw the trailer, you knew the joke was coming.
And then like even when he's just like he's on the plane and he's like, hey, we gotta talk about my aunt, and he jumps off.
Oh yeah.
I was just like,
actually, when we're on the plane, did you when they were on the plane, did you like the part where he starts playing AC/DC and he goes like, I love Led Zeppelin.
That was funny.
That part was so good.
Okay.
I was like, this has Led Zeppelin. Peter, you're always fucking up your references.
that was
Okay,
that was
okay.
funny.
I love Led Zeppelin.
He's always fucking up his
It's funny
references.
because the crowd that I went with, there was a lot of young kids,
Oh, they
and I noticed
understand
that
it.
joke only half the people laughed, and I'm like, oh shit, they have no idea. They have no idea.
Oh my god, that's
There are a lot of young kids in the crowd that I went.
Damn.
So
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have to watch it again, but for me, the most of the jokes in that land, and I felt like there was a lot of comedic characters. Like to Ned. Ned's a good character. The two teachers.
Definitely, they added the two teachers.
The two teachers.
Right.
Flash Thompson. Like everybody was throwing a joke every 5 seconds. And I was like, please,
And the thing is that JB Smoove is funnier than what he was portraying
he's a
as.
funny.
Yeah,
He's funny. He's a very funny.
I know his
character.
voice, but I didn't know he was like that famous.
he was in Curb, dude.
He's in Curb.
He's a wheelchair guy in Curb.
Just watch Curb and you'll see how good he is in terms
He's so
of.
good,
okay.
dude. He's so good.
I don't watch Curb, that's why.
It's fucking.
Curb
really?
Enthusiast. Yeah, I don't
You've
watch
never seen?
It's a modern.
I'm watching it now.
It's modern Seinfeld.
I'm watching it from the beginning.
But JB Smoove was one of the very first few episodes of Curb.
Nah, he's like he comes in the third season.
I was gonna say I'm in the first season and he's not in it.
He's in like in the third season.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I only seen like season 1 or 2.
Then he's in the second
Smoove is in
season.
it.
He's in the third or second season, but he comes in like.
But regardless, JB Smoove is a fucking funny character,
Yeah.
and he wasn't that funny. He was just like, he was too PG, I guess. Because I think JB Smoove is better with like
more of R-rated jokes.
harder material.
I mean, even the jokes, it was the same jokes. It was like he was obsessed with like witches,
Oh yeah,
and so
the
like,
witches.
and he was a history teacher.
This is science.
But then
No,
like
he's a science teacher.
He's a science teacher. But then the thing
When
is,
he was obsessed with witches.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
the joke was. It was constant. Like he looked at when he had to watch him Edith, he's like looking through everything. It's like, and his like was like witches, like history of witches or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like looking up, and then when everything's going crazy, he's like, you know what this is? It's witches. Like, all right, dude, I get it. Like,
Yeah, he only did it twice. The second time it fell flat.
I feel like he did it like 3 times. Honestly, I think he did it when they got there. When he's like, oh, you know what this is? Like, this is because
This is science, and it's also witches. Or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He did it like constantly. That was like his joke. Like, and it felt a lot like Godzilla, where they had that white guy who was just doing all the jokes.
I agree with you.
And it,
Oh my God, Zilla.
yeah,
It's like, all right.
And
I
it's-
actually laughed at that joke though, because in the commercial, in the trailer, I was like, yo, this joke sucks. But then when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
so yeah. So I just feel like everybody was trying to be that guy. Like, here's my line. Let's do this joke. It was just.
Anyways,
I watch it again. and I'll come
anyways,
back.
you hated the
Yeah.
jokes. So
hated the
that's cool.
jokes. Hated the jokes.
I
Hated
didn't
the
mind it.
drones. That's why it's a 3.5 in my
Yeah,
book.
hated jokes, hated drones, hated things. Jake Gyllenhaal's overrated.
Nah, Jake Gyllenhaal is a good actor.
Oh, because I said top 10 and you like raised your eyebrow, like really?
Nah, I don't know about top 10, but he's a great actor. It's funny because I think about MJ and I think about like as a movie, like where they, I like you said, like her dying or her getting like in danger would be like a trope.
It's a
It
trope
is,
because
it's too much of a trope.
It's so much as we played it out the 3 movies already. Man, I don't know. I just kind of like that kind of drama. Like, yeah, let's
they won't do that.
let's put her in danger.
I hope they don't do that, because the thing is that in the first series she was in danger like maybe like twice, I think she was, and then in
In the first movie, she was endangered in every single movie.
and then in the Andrew Garfield one,
It was Gwen
Gwen Stacy was endangered
Every single movie.
No,
Her-
she-
No,
her
in the
two-
second one.
she-
In the second one,
She
only when
died,
she
in
died.
the second one.
Right, but she wasn't in danger in the first with
No,
her
she
dad
wasn't-
as Lizard. I
She
thought
wasn't in danger in the first one. It was just her dad. Like Peter had to try to stop their dad,
Right.
essentially,
And then spoiler
or
alert.
protect her dad. So like I don't want to see it again. Like, oh my god, the girl's in danger again. Like fuck. Like we've seen
get
that
it.
so many times already. Like let's get the fuck out. Let's get past this. You know what I'm saying? We saw it in Iron Man 3 when Gwyneth Paltrow was in danger. So it's like, okay, I don't want to see this shit again.
Right, but then they did a total 180 where they made her the hero.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
but I don't want to see the girl in trouble and then she becomes like I don't want to see any of
We're
that.
done with Dan's under stress.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think we're past that.
Yeah.
Essentially, when it comes to movies and like formulaic shit. So like, hopefully, if they ever use her, they're gonna use her in a way that she helps out Peter.
I mean, in
Instead of-
this movie, that's what she did. The whole
know?
second half, she's helping.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say.
Yeah, she's on Ned status.
I kind of. But I could totally see her in the sense.
She helps as much as Ned helps.
I could totally.
Yes,
I could totally.
absolutely.
I could totally see her maybe not like an Oracle character, but a character was like.
No, Ned's the Oracle.
That is Oracle.
Of course. But I could totally see it as like someone who like is like medic. Like comes home, she bandages him up, and then crime goes again. You go get him Tiger kind of line.
Maybe.
And go out there and do
Okay.
shit.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, it's because like I want to see what they do now with that character because now, right now,
more established,
because right
yeah.
now it's when I assume you fall into that trope. So it's right
Yeah.
now either you fall into it or you divert.
Yeah.
And I want to see how they divert.
Yeah, because when the first movie came out, I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what they're gonna do with this character." And then they did it, and they already did the reveal, like in this movie. So it's like, "Oh shit!" They really fast forwarded what we thought was gonna happen. So now I'm curious, what are they gonna do now? So
Yeah, I'm very-
as long as they keep changing her up,
And plus, I would love to see what her interests are because we've had her.
she's Wednesday Addams. She loves all the dark
She likes
shit.
all the dark shit. So, but
Yeah,
what is her interest
What's
apart
her
from
history?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like well, what does
she's
she
morbid.
want to do? What does she want to be? Like what is her career? I guess because you could see.
At this point, I
You
think
can
like
see-
a death museum owning one,
Right,
Like at this
essentially,
point,
like
She's
I want
Wen-
to be in a funeral parlor or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Like,
The whole time I watched it, I'm like, she's Wednesday Addams.
yeah. So like I could see, you could see Ned being a computer person. You could see Tony. I mean, Peter being a inventor. But what is she? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what is her inclination? Like, you know,
I guess
this
we'll
is
see.
where his character's gonna go.
They put enough breadcrumbs with her relationship with her family and her dad. Like they did a quick little text message breadcrumb.
Well, I didn't notice that. What was it?
When he was spying on her text messages, and he goes, "Oh no, I can't do that." And he kind of like closed his eyes.
Uh-huh.
It was something about where's dad or some shit like that. It was something about her father.
So a family broken up.
yeah, pretty much that she doesn't have both her parental units.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so her in the first movie, her parents were broken up too.
Right,
It's
exactly.
vague. It's vague enough that the third movie now can at least fill in those
Can
gaps.
fill it in, and then from there we can give her a plot line.
yeah.
So there's definitely space for her to go now.
Yeah, especially and like I said, like it's the third movie now more than ever. It's when you need that because, like I said, right now you fall into that trope or you divert.
Or you divert.
So if you divert, you should do a character dive into like that character.
I have full faith. They've impressed me with 2 movies already. I have
Yeah,
faith.
they've done a pretty good job
No, for sure.
with all the characters.
I would like to
essentially.
see I would like to see a Gwen Stacy version in Spider-Man.
I don't
No,
think so
I
because
prefer, if anything, I want Black Cat.
so they would never put Gwen Stacy because now they already kind of made her Spider Gwen.
Yeah.
So they want to stay away from her because she's already Spider Gwen'd out. Like they're not gonna put Gwen Stacy and not make her a superhero at this point.
That makes sense.
But I would love to see Black Cat. That's one character that we had
There you
a
go.
small thing, like you mentioned. I mean,
She's gonna be in 3.
Felicity
I-
Jones was quote unquote introduced in 2, I think it was. Amazing Spider-Man 2. So like, I really want to see Black Cat. Like that's one of the characters that I've also. It's a huge Peter love interest that was never even a love
right,
interest.
right, and it could rock the boat between
It
them
can
two,
rock the boat. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
so instead of following the trope, they can make a triangle.
which is kind of a trope in itself. But if
But
they
it's never been done though.
if they do it clever enough, it'll work.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Spider-Man 3 was trying to do that, but it didn't do it.
No, it just made him really douchey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like we never had him split between.
Two love interests.
Exactly.
Yeah, two proper love interests, not
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm evil right now, or
Yeah,
like
exactly. So I'm gonna be with
I'm
Gwen.
emo
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter right
I
now.
don't really love her, but my desires
Yeah.
they make me want to dance and fuck.
Spoiler alert for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Because the Amazing Spider-Man only had Gwen. They never introduced MJ.
No.
They were about to, but they didn't. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Right.
we need that.
Or they did, but then they cut her from the movie.
They cut her out.
They cut her from the movie.
They cut her. Because she
Yeah.
filmed it, but they cut her.
You know, like that movie, dude. I know it gets a lot of shit, but it's a solid movie.
Which one?
Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No,
it is a solid movie.
I didn't like it.
I agree with
the,
you.
The whole electric thing just fucking destroyed it for me.
He was too comic booky. Which is why I like
he was
it though.
cartoony, not even comic book. He was
That's
cartoony.
why I like it. It's very, very
the
comic
same.
booky. I am electric. Like it was very just corny, just to be corny.
I
It
hate
is.
it so much, dude. And the
I
music
just-
that popped out every single time. Oh my god. Fuck,
It's
he
like
was
the
so
whispering.
annoying, dude.
Anyways,
Anyways, yes.
that wraps up our review of the whole Spider-Man universe, apparently.
So yes, go watch it if you haven't seen it. Far From Home was great, even though Orlando gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, Orlando thought it was good, not great.
It's okay, Orlando. We all have our opinions. It averages out to 4 anyways.
I mean, you guys liked Captain Marvel. I remember you guys giving it like
Pedro,
4.
you said a 4.5 for this one, right?
Yeah, are you gonna do your math right?
Yeah, I'm
now?
gonna do a math. 4.5.
I remember you giving you guys giving Captain Marvel like a 4.
I gave it a 4.
Exactly. So I did not like Captain
Yeah.
Marvel.
And you know what? I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, I still like it.
Yeah, give it like a 3. That movie can go suck eggs.
Go suck eggs. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It averages out to a 4. So sorry, Orlando.
I don't care.
4.
I like how he did the average just to make sure. Like, obviously, if 2 people have a higher rating than the one, it's gonna average higher than his review.
Yeah.
Hey man, look man,
Like,
I did the
you-
math,
you-
and people now know it's mathematically computed. It's a 4.
Or let's
Okay.
like drop it to like a 1. Like you're fine.
that's
The rating
true.
is safe.
That's true.
It doesn't matter, all right, man. We all enjoyed the movie, and that's the important thing. MCU hasn't done a dud yet.
A full dud.
Oh, wait, since Phase 3. Since Phase 3.
Anyways.
Because Phase 2 had Thor 2, which was garbage.
Anyways.
Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this review of Spider-Man Far From Home.
and more.
Yeah, and a little bit of thrown in there. Let us know what you thought about the movie. We're on all social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. We be posting. Comment below. Let us know what's up. A-List, please sponsor us. Till next time.
Bye-bye.